I'm excited to be here today at Verclair Farms, where we're going to discuss data management and how they use calf data to continuously improve their calf program. With me today is Katie Grinstead, who is owner and calf manager here at Verclair Farms. Tell us a little bit about the data that you're collecting here.
Good question. I think as the years have evolved, we have started collecting more and more all the time. Starting out actually with the colostrum. We know the reading on the bricks, which is then put on the colostrum bag, so we know what we're giving the calves. We weigh the calves at birth. We do a total protein, so we pull a blood sample. We also weigh them when they leave the hutches. So we're looking at a lot of different things.
Let's take a little step back. When you think about when we started to collect all this data, what was the reason? Why put all this extra effort into your calf program?
Well, I think one of the very first things we started was the bricks. We've been doing that forever, but then we took it a step further and started collecting blood samples so we could, look at total proteins. The colostrum is so important, and it was easier to have the numbers and data than pointing fingers with the maternity people, whether they were doing their job or, so it just, is numbers that we can share. So if they're not high enough, we can then go back and talk and regroup and see if something is being missed.
Excellent. And then beyond that, you mentioned weights. So now when I think about all this data and we compile that, how are you utilizing that here at the farm?
Well, I think my team loves to see those numbers. They love to see when we do a sanitation audit. They love to see if they're in the green or where they're at. So my team really thrives on those numbers.
Yeah.
And then we're not making assumptions, and we're not accusing. This is the data, this is the numbers, and it really helps, so it's not a he said, she said, pointing fingers sort of thing.
I love that. And I can really appreciate that you are taking that information and sharing it with all that are working with the calves, giving that extra knowledge base. Talk to me about how often you share those numbers and what that looks like.
I mean, we try to look at those numbers at least quarterly. We talk amongst our teams more often. I think Joaquin maybe meets with the maternity guys monthly. But just having those open lines of communication, I think, is just so important. You can collect all the data you want, but if you're not going to look at it and you're not going to use it, it's just a lot of busy work. And I think we've done a better job through the years of making it a lot more useful and not just busy work.
Now let's talk about the big picture of the farm. How has that helped your overall return?
It makes culling a little bit easier. It's still never easy, but at least if you have the data behind it, you're making a better choice than, kind of a gut feeling. I also think, it helps too that the cow group or the, our management team, we talk about those numbers and stuff when we get together.
Yeah.
It helps us dial in rations so that we're doing a good job of, because we know the weights throughout. So we're doing a better job of balancing rations and not overfeeding and some of that kind of stuff. So it really, you really can take it as far as you want. If you haven't started yet, the most important is recording treatments. You should always be doing that because of, meat withholds and milk withholds, even if it's just on a calendar, because that's how we start. We write it on a calendar and then it goes into dairy comp. But even if you have that calendar to look back on and say, oh gosh, we've treated this calf 3 times, it just helps make sure that, we're sticking to protocols like we're supposed to, and we're not swaying, and we're, we want to raise the best calf we can for that next generation of cow in the barn.
If you're not maybe collecting a lot of data or interested in doing more, please reach out to any one of the Vita Plus calf team, your Vita Plus dealer. We'd happy to get you started, help you analyze and really use that data to help improve your calf program.